see Edmonton. It's not that hard to beat Tampa Bay. That's going to go over well, I think. Definitely going to go over well. Tampa Bay wasn't tired at all. Takes extras for the second time in 3 games, but the Flames are 3-0 at the Saddledome on this homestand, taking down the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-3 in 60 minutes plus change, 26 seconds to be exact. It's Cami and Robert here on Afterburner, brought to you by Bet365. Hockey fans, check out Bet365's 3-goal early payout. When your team goes up 3, you get paid. That easy. Download the app today. Must be 19 plus, and please play responsibly. And while you're at it, hit up the super chat. Help us support Youth Centers of Calgary, a great place where kids are able to just be accepted and hang out and get a bit of a break from the chronic stress that can be a reality for a lot of those young people. Better times ahead, right?
Absolutely.
And it seems like, Robert, this game, it was kind of about the new guys, whether they're young and new on the scene or new to the team.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, these next 13 or 12 games, however many left are in the Flames season here, it's all about the young players. And I've been talking about that a lot. And tonight was no different, whether it was Matvei Gridin making that incredible play in the OT winner, whether it's Matt Coronado just being all over the ice, him playing really well, Brstevich and Perek. And then, of course, Tyson Gross. He makes his NHL debut, which was super exciting. Just what an insanely cool story. Hey, you know, with the Flames, they're posting all those photos on their social media of him wearing a Flames jersey growing up. There was one where he was, you know, on the Saddledome ice doing some sort of like skills competition, probably between periods, which was just unbelievably cool. So yeah, it was awesome to see him get in the lineup and get some shifts out there.
Oh, the bunny hops picture was so cute, but it really just goes to show that really every player is on a different journey. There's no one path. And if you put in the work, these opportunities can find their way to you. He kind of reminds me of another Calgary guy in Logan O'Connor, who went to school down in the States, not drafted, and was able to get an AHL deal with Colorado and ends up winning a Stanley Cup with the Avalanche and just about dumping the cup in the bow with Cale Makar. Maybe Craig should bring all of them here.
Yeah, why not? Especially Cale. Love to see Cale Makar in a Flames jersey. Wouldn't that be nice?
Hail Cale. But yeah, that, I mean, all of the Gross stuff was super cool, especially when you look at, I mean, we saw it again with another defenseman who found the back of the net tonight, Darren Radish for Tampa Bay, undrafted defensemen who are able to go out and put up those 20-plus goal seasons. Of course, he still needs one more. He's sitting at 19 now. But it just no one path, right?
Yeah.
Who would have guessed when Mark Giordano was coming out of the OHL that he would have the career he had?
100%. Yeah, just there's that. Every path is different, and just the idea of perseverance and never giving up. Those stories are always so inspiring. And yeah, it's the Giordano one in particular is pretty wild because I think he had enrolled in university in Ontario. I forget what university it was, but he was going to take business classes, and I think he was going to become an accountant. And then it was like a last second invite to the Calgary Flames rookie camp. And he turned it into an incredible NHL career, which included a Norris Trophy at age 36 or 37. Like that, those are the kind of stories that are just absolutely incredible. And Tyson Gross tonight, I mean, if we want to talk about his actual on ice play, I mean, he looked like an NCAA undrafted free agent tonight. And the thing we have to keep in mind with him is that I don't think the Flames have even had a practice since he's joined the group. They've had morning skates, but they haven't had a practice yet. And I think he was forced into the lineup a little bit early because of injuries to Connor Zary. But, you know, just the fact that he got in an NHL game, he got to play on Saddledome ice, I just think is super cool. He went 60% in the faceoff circle, won 3 of 5 draws, which is nice. And just super happy for him. And like I said, it's an unbelievable story.
Yeah, he won 75% of his draws at one point. Let's get right to his stat line. Like, yeah, you know, there's going to be some ups and downs. It's the NHL. No one should step in and look right at home, honestly, unless you're some sort of generational pick. But ends up with 8:07 of ice time, gets 11 shifts out there. And you mentioned like some really good success at the faceoff dot. We saw him beat, was it Cousins for his first faceoff? And then you see the head thrown back when he takes his first penalty. You know, when you talk to these guys and you say like, what was your welcome to the NHL moment? It's never the first goal. It's not usually not even just walking into the rink. It's the first real mistake they make. That's what really stays with you.
Yeah. And that was his tripping call early in the first period. It was either his first or second shift. in the NHL he takes a penalty, but that's going to happen. And could you imagine just like being in his shoes? So he grows up as a Flames fan. He's around the Dome all the time. I believe his dad works for the team, so he's been around the organization forever.
Sure
and then
does.
he plays in his first game at the Saddle Dome, the rink that he grew up watching the team at, and he goes up against the Tampa Bay Lightning, a team that the Flames have a history with. And right now they're one of the best teams in the NHL, and they got Kucherov, and they got Point, and they got all these incredible players. And that's who you're making your NHL debut against. Like, oh, that would just be so cool. But I think it'll take some time. Like, he'll probably play in the AHL next year. And, maybe one day he can be a fourth line or a third line center for the Flames, just depending on how he develops. I mean, his size, I thought he fit in when it came to his skating. I thought he totally fit in. He looked fast out there. And yeah, it's just going to take some time to get used to the speed of the league and just the talented players that he's going to be going against. Because going from St. Cloud State in the NCAA to play against the Tampa Bay Lightning, that's a pretty big jump. So good on him for making his debut. And he was fine. He did just fine out there.
Perfectly serviceable, which is what the Flames need right now.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, gravity is not doing its thing for Team Tank.
No, 3 wins in a row. This seems to be like a common theme with the Flames. They tend to go on these absolute heaters right when they don't need to go on them. And part of me is like it's fun, like the Dome has been rocking the last 3 nights. Fans have been really enjoying the product they're putting on the ice. Like, the Flames have played some like really exciting hockey these last 3 games, but you just continue to think about that draft positioning. And luckily Chicago won tonight, which is good. So the Flames are still in 31st place, but yeah, they're starting to look pretty good. They're starting to look like they're connecting and starting to build some chemistry with these new lines. It's a little worrisome if you remember Team Tank.
Well, at least you have a match against Vancouver coming up.
That is a must-lose
4-point game. But you're right. Like, the Dome has been nuts lately. I was there for the St. Louis game. Thought the roof was going to go off the place when the 3rd goal got disallowed.
Yeah. Well, between that and then your husband crushing some milk on the Jumbotron, I mean, the place must have been going absolutely insane.
Fiance still, but yeah, no. Grant was. We were talking to Grant before, just between plays, and he asked if one of us wanted to do like the chug for Cowboys. And I had Dylan drinks more milk than any person I've ever met in my life. 7 concussions, no broken bones. That guy is calcium through and through. And I went to one of the bars in the Dome to get a drink, and I saw they had milk to goes. I mean, that would be hilarious if I just brought it back milk to drink. And when they were looking for someone to chug on the Jumbotron, just pulled out that crispy 2%.
It's so good. I'm right there with him. I drink a ton of milk, and I've also never had any broken bones. Knock on wood there, but
good for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
My bones are weak. My blood's like water. If I was a Victorian child, I would not have made it past 10 years old. But we'd probably get to the game, hey? Actually, no.
Probably a good idea.
Let's start with discipline.
Sure.
You mentioned that Gross was in the lineup because Connor Zary was not available tonight. There is hope that this is a short-term issue he's dealing with after the AJ Greer hit. But player safety announces right before puck drop that it will be a 3-game suspension for AJ Greer for that hit on Connor Zary. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I don't think it's enough. I think it's an absolute load of crap. 3 games. That play by AJ Greer was so dangerous. I actually don't remember a play this season that was more dangerous than what he did. Connor Zary is totally indefensible. He's 5 feet away from the boards, and Greer gives him a real good shove, the type of shove where it's I want to hurt this guy. It was a total play to injure Connor Zary, 100% intent to injure. And that could have been catastrophic. It really could have for Connor Zary. That was super, super scary. Thank God he's okay. But that's the type of play that could affect the rest of your life, potentially, if it's a serious enough neck injury. And, that's a quality of life type of thing. And for AJ Greer to only get 3 games for that, I just thought was completely ridiculous. The Department of Player Safety is dropping the ball left, right, and center this season. I thought it was a total disgrace. That should have been, I would say, probably 7+ games easily, because it's so dangerous. So that's kind of how I feel about it. What about you?
Well, I didn't think 3 was enough, but I also didn't think, like, with what we've seen from player safety, that it would be that high. I'd be curious to see if more players, more agents speak out about it, whether the process there could be reassessed. I mean, we knew it wasn't going to be that many games when we found out it was a phone hearing, but there haven't been any real large on ice suspensions handed out this year. Like, where would you compare this against the Gudis hit on Matthews, where that guy has a rap sheet a mile long, and that was 5 games? Where do we rank it against Malkin's baseball bat swing? That was 5 games. The only other 3-game suspension we've seen this season was the Brian Rust one back in January for the check on Besser.
Yeah. I mean, all those were intent to injure. And I just think the NHL, they need to seriously punish these types of moves, because those are the types of plays. Basically, all those suspensions that you just brought up there, those are the types of hits and plays that you want to completely eliminate from the NHL, because it's dangerous. And player safety, you are there to protect the players. And if Radko Gudas is only getting 5 games for what looked like him targeting Auston Matthews' leg, if AJ Greer is only getting 3 games for pushing Connor Zary from behind into the boards head first, if the league is only going to suspend players for 3 to 5 games for those types of plays, I don't think it's enough. And part of me kind of almost wants to tie it to the player's injury. However long the player's out, maybe there should be some sort of ramification for that. Like for Radko Gudas, he just took Auston Matthews out for the rest of the season. And I get that the Leafs are going to make the playoffs this year, but that's a devastating injury for that organization, for that team. And Gudas is only going to get 5 games, and he's right back out there, and he's going to be playing big time games for the Anaheim Ducks, while Auston Matthews is going to be recovering from an injury for the next 12 weeks. And I just think it's kind of unfair. And if I were the NHL, I would kind of completely re-examine what I'm doing with that player safety department, because what they're doing right now, I don't think it's severe enough. And I don't think it's going to stop guys from AJ Greer and Radko Gudas going out and doing this stuff again, because they'll just think to themselves, oh, I'll only get 3 or 4 games, maybe 5 games. Like it's really not that bad. Like I can go out and make a play. It's not going to be, it's not going to take away that much salary from me, and I'm not going to impact my team all that much. I think the NHL, they got to really crack down on this stuff, because these types of plays are just so dangerous, so dangerous.
Yeah, and we know, like, the one thing they won't do is tie anything to a player's reputation. Like, I don't think AJ Greer being on a team that is not going to be around for the playoffs, isn't playing the biggest role on that team. I don't think that will factor into it. It's not like you can throw the rule book harder at someone who's not a superstar in the league. But that idea that you said of tying the punishment to the severity of the injury is so interesting to me, because, like, when we go back, how much time did Max Pacioretty miss when Zdeno Chara pushed him into the stanchion?
I think he missed the rest of the season. Like, it was a devastating injury.
I mean, he broke his neck.
Yeah. So, like, Chara, in my opinion, Chara should have been out for quite a bit longer than, I forget what the number was. I'm sure it was probably 5 or 6 games or something like that. But like you said, Pacioretty's a broken neck. He's done for the year, and then Chara can just go back in the lineup after 5 games. Like that stuff just doesn't make sense.
Like, Montreal tried to throw that man in jail.
Yeah, totally. The other weird part about this whole Zary AJ Greer thing that I don't think like enough people are talking about is that the fact that they were teammates just 2 years ago, and for AJ Greer to do something like that to a former teammate, I just thought was so bizarre, and I couldn't believe he did that. And like, I know he plays with an edge, he's a chippy guy, but to make that dirty of a play on a former teammate, on a young player, and like Connor Zary, I don't know him.
With his injury history.
He's got the injury history, and then also Connor Zary is just like a beauty. Like, it seems like he's beloved by all of his teammates. So just for Greer to do that, I just thought was totally weird. Just a completely bizarre move by him.
Yeah, unfortunate. And I mean, you have to hope when it's a former teammate that he got on the phone and just fell on the sword and admitted wrong and didn't try to excuse it. I think that's probably the only way forward that there was for him.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, hopefully things will change. I don't know. Under George Peros, it doesn't feel like it's going to change. Gary Bettman and the NHL at the GM's meetings, they were backing George Peros and that player safety department pretty hard at those meetings in the media and all that. So I don't think changes are coming, but they definitely should, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably not. But anyway, not in charge of player safety but he'll make sure you have a safe experience buying or selling your home in Calgary. It's Derek Newman. Come on. You're not going to give me more than that, Robert?
That was great. Excellent work.
Thank you.
Very well done.
Yeah. So if you're in that position, getting in the real estate game, use the Derek Newman Group. That's DERRICK. Over 100 million in real estate sold, 65 plus 5-star Google reviews. I'm one of them. He's connected to the city, volunteers in the community, and who knows, maybe he'll put a head out on AJ Greer for us. He's like 6'10", so could probably give him a run for his money. So you can visit the new website, dereknewmangroup.com. That's DERRICK newmangroup.com, or call 403-619-6661. All right, let's get into how this game actually went down here. Flames were playing from behind. It's McDonough breaking through with a second chance play. Point kind of just forced a turnover. Gensel gets his second opportunity, and the puck pops up to McDonough in the slot.
Nights, but give credit to the Flames. This team, like, they work hard and they battle, and so that part was impressive. But yeah, initially I was like, oh my god, like, here we go, we could be in for like a 5 or 6 nothing game here.
Yeah, and I mean, and the Cardinal sin is playing boring hockey, and the Flames were not playing boring hockey. It was actually pretty awesome. Yeah, Coleman Backlund, like, death taxes, shorthanded, 2-on-1. Will not vary on it. It looked like it was going to be bad. They went like 10 minutes between shots, though, and then finally got some going towards the end of the period. And then Olofsson had a nice shot, high deflection. I think it was Farabee trying to tip it in, but boom, right after that, Olofsson gets one for real seconds after it, too. Now he's also got an assist in his 8 outings now, I believe, with the Flames. But boy, I just wish he was not an upcoming unrestricted free agent.
That's the part with him, is he's not going to come back. The Flames, they have so many forwards. They have so many of those kind of middle 6, bottom 6 wingers already. So he's not going to be returning to the team. So you almost want to see other young guys get opportunities over him. But, like, I've been, banging the table for that for the last couple weeks here. But, Ryan Huska, he seems to like him. He's been put out in a lot of different situations, power play, 4-on-3 overtime 4-on-3 overtime power play. So yeah, he's been put in a lot of positions to succeed. And yeah, part of me is just like I don't want to see it, but he's also kind of in a tough spot with those veteran players. He wants to show them respect and he wants to treat them well. And, he is a pending UFA. If he gets sat for 12 games in a row, is that going to affect his future in the NHL? You just never know. So, like, I get that Huska's in a bit of a tough situation, but at the same time, you want to play the young guys.
You bet. It was an exciting end of the period. 2 goals in 27 seconds. And it was Frost melting the Lightning, and Matt Corn
points and some goals. But I think, since the Olympic break has come back during that California trip, ever since then, I think Coronado's been one of, if not their most effective forward. I think he's been great, and he's getting lots of shots off, but it's one of those years where it's just not going in for him. It's not really going in for the rest of the team. And I would say Coronado is probably the last guy on this team that I'm worried about long-term in terms of production and the contract and all that kind of stuff. I'm a big believer in him, and he's showing it right now. He's looked great.
Well, look at who led the team in shots among forwards tonight. You got Coronado with 4, and then Gridin and Olofsson right behind him with 3 and 3. Mm-hmm. Definitely some good stuff cooking there. And also Cooley, just as that period ran out, robbed Hagel to keep Calgary out front. Oh,
incredible save. Absolutely.
I know, it's almost hard to kind of like give flowers to everyone else who's had a good game when Devin Cooley is just doing that.
Oh, he was the best player on the ice. There were a couple of saves. The one on Hagel, there was that tip in front where he was really impressive. I thought he was the best player on the ice tonight. He's out of all the storyline stations, Cooley might have been probably at the very bottom of my list for guys who I thought were going to step up this year, just based off what we saw at the end of last year in training camp and all that kind of stuff. And he's just come in and just been so good. Like, just crazy how good he is.
I mean, I have a buddy who insisted that Adam Klapka was getting 30 this year.
That's a cold take. That's an ice cold take.
It still happened. It still happened.
Yeah, you never know.
We saw a little bit of a highlight reel for Cooley there. It does end up with 32 saves on 35 shots. Like, that's a .914 save percentage. crazy stuff. So he was, I believe he ended up second star of the night. Yeah, second star.
Yeah, against the fourth highest scoring team in the league, against Nikita Kucherov, who is just lighting the NHL up right now. Super, super impressive stuff.
Yeah. And that takes us to the second period. The Backlund Blast makes it 3-1. Oh, this was fun. This is a bit of a throwback. We had Bristevich.
Night of, hey, the slap shot, it still works every now and then. It's still an effective tool. Why not bring it back?
More. But yeah, I mean, Radish was the next one up. I think my notes just said, good Lord, that shot is terrifying.
Yeah, insane.
You would have to pay me millions of dollars to lay in front of that shot, actually.
But Joel Farabee, Sammy Salo as well. Remember the Sammy Salo one back in the day?
Oh, one of the best number 6s in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then trauma for the Flames fans. Another offside goal.
The fourth this week.
Yeah, who would have thunk it?
The other day, I was saying this Backlund, Coleman, Farabee line. This would be a perfect third line on a Stanley Cup contender. You know, put them as Tampa Bay's third line, and I think you'd be so happy with that. Like, the trio is really good together. I've been super impressed by them, and yeah, they're putting up some points. They play great defense. Like, you can't really ask much more from those guys.
I know, it's just unfortunate that the timeline doesn't really line up with what the Flames are doing now.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. But
look it back there one day. Fingers crossed. Hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, not really concerned that that's not going to happen. Which one came up next? Yeah. So tying it in the third period were the Tampa Bay Lightning, Pontus Holmberg. This was not a great play for Blake Coleman, but Flames came out of it unscathed in the end. It turns out Strome on the first shift out there with Gridin and Ball, I think it was, for his second goal as a Flame, both at the time.
And he was going up against JJ Moser, who's a really good NHL defenseman, and he had great puck positioning. He protected the puck really well. He looked really strong and sturdy and made a fantastic play to Strome and ended it. So, if the Flames are going to win a game, it's nice to see that it's a guy like Matt Gridin having a big night. It's a guy like Matt Cornon having a big night, and Bristevich played great. And I thought Parekh was solid once again. I think he's getting more and more comfortable. So you're seeing that progression from the young players, which is nice. But, maybe mix in a loss every now and then here. Flames, like, oh my God, 3 in a row. Are you kidding me? Where was this at the beginning of the season when the games mattered?
But do we have that clip of Brustevich? He just sprawled at the side of the net and was able to get enough of his stick on the puck. I think, was it point?
Yeah.
He robbed?
Yeah, it's Yasmin. It's clip 9. It's called Brustevich save. Because the Tampa Bay Lightning, they made an incredible play here. The passing was off the charts. Braden Point basically had an entire net to shoot at, and Brustevich gets his stick on it right at the last second. That was a super impressive play.
Yeah, I love the reaction shots they kept going to on the bench of him. It looked like his heart just stopped. He didn't know where he was.
At first, I thought he got like a leg on. Like, I thought he was playing goalie for a second. I'm like, holy crap, he made a save there. But it was his stick that got a piece of it. But regardless, just an incredible play by him.
Yeah. Oh, Braden Point should have been an Olympian.
I feel bad for the guy. Oh yeah, that would have been an incredible experience for him. But he can still make that team in 2030. Like, I think he'll still be young enough and good enough to make that team, hopefully.
Yeah, you'd bet. And hopefully, I mean, just recovering from that injury to keep trucking here. It was awesome too. I feel like you think back to when they were having like the Olympic orientation in Calgary and getting to talk to a bunch of those guys who were there. It's such a bummer looking back at how it shook out for some of them, like Uyghur having the year he had, Point getting hurt, just unfortunate. But that was how it went. Flames got the win today. It's hilarious. Like, what did Connor McDavid say last night? The Pacific Division is a pillow fight. And I forget who someone said this on Twitter today, and I thought it was funny, but it's like, you lose a game in the Western Conference or the Pacific Division and people are ready to riot. And if you lose a single point in the East, it's so tight. Like, you might as well go get put down like Old Yeller behind the barn.
No kidding. The Pacific, it's a mess this year. It's really, really bad. I don't remember a division being this bad before. It's awful. I think Anaheim leads the division. They have a negative goal differential.
Not unbeatable.
Yeah.
There's one season where they had like a 25-game home winning streak.
Yeah.
I miss Duke.
The Pacific shouldn't be this bad, though. I mean, like, Edmonton should be better. You know, Vegas should be way better. I mean, you take a look at the Vegas lineup. They're stacked. It's just not really working for them, and they're not getting saves. But it should be a little bit better than it is right now. Even Vancouver. I'm actually surprised that Vancouver is as bad as they are. Coming into the year, I thought that they'd be in that mushy middle. I did not see them falling off a cliff like this.
I don't understand it. I'm just beyond comprehension. Like, at this point, it's not even tank. It is hold the franchise and draft your way back in. Is that how you fix it?
It might be. Honestly, might be. And then you lose your captain, and, you know, Pettersson's not even close to the same player. Demko is always hurt. It's just everything that could go wrong for that franchise has been going wrong for them. You know, JT Miller's an asshole. Like, it's just everything is just, it's just brutal there. I feel bad for those fans. Because Vancouver fans, like, I know probably a lot of Flames fans don't like them, but, you know, like, I run the Canucks Army account at the Nation Network, and man, Canucks fans are so passionate. Like, they love that team, and that team has given them nothing to cheer about since 2011. So I actually kind of feel a little bad for them.
They did win the President's Trophy the year after 2011. Thank you very much.
They were ousted in 5 games in the first round. So
listen, when Jonathan was deciding to do that, nobody was stopping him. Nobody was stopping him.
That's
but
true.
You know how they fix it.
How's
you
that?
do what the old Buffalo Sabres did, and you have a beer.
Absolutely. Where would you have that beer?
I think I would have it at one of 2 unicorn locations.
That's a great idea.
Right? Isn't it?
The Canucks are going to be here on Saturday. Well, I think, yeah, this upcoming Saturday. So head to the Unicorn, get Elias Pettersson, the boys, to crush some beers. Why not?
Feed them the $7 game day pints of Molson Canadian. And they are known to show up with some free tickets. So who knows? Like, if you offer the Canucks a couple tickets, they might not even make it on the ice. They'll park themselves in press level and have a couple pocket dogs.
Yeah, they can stumble their way there too. I mean, you can take the train from the Stephen Avenue locations. You can walk from the Mission location. It's a perfect setup for these guys.
Yeah, they can check out all 3 floors down on 8th Ave. Check out the Buck Hunter, pinball, darts, and really experience the heart of the city. Maybe even stick around for happy hour and brunch on the weekend.
Yeah, after
this is our invitation to you, Canucks. This is how you woo. This is how you woo free agents. Not taking them to Joey's. Or did the Oilers do that? I forget.
Yeah, the Oilers did that. I think it was with Andrei Kuzmenko. That'll impress them. A little dinner out at Joey's. Hey, don't get me wrong. Joey's is great.
Love, you know what? Someone from a very small town. Joey's seems pretty classy.
It is a classy joint. I like it. But, you know, like, I think in Vancouver, they took him out to the Blue Water Cafe, which is like one of like the best restaurants in the city, has like the best seafood and sushi. And then he goes to Edmonton, and yeah, they take him to Joey's, and in the Ice District, it's like, oh wow, that's no wonder he chose Vancouver after that whole situation.
Man, I'm from such a hick small town. When I moved here, I had some friends who worked at Cactus Club, and I was at a barbecue at one of their houses, and I met this other girl there who I'm now like actually really good friends with. But I was like, oh, do you work at Cactus too? She's like, I'm a Joey girl. And I was like, the seafood place? No clue. No clue.
Right.
We didn't even have McDonald's growing up. Okay. We had a bunch of other stuff you wanted to get to, though, before we kind of get into the hockey ether here. What are you feeling about the future of Morgan Frost?
Yeah, I just think it's an interesting conversation because he is a pending UFA next year. So in 2027, his contract will be up, and the Flames at that point, I don't think Frost is going to accept a 1, 2, or 3-year contract. They're going to actually have to fork up a 4 or 5, maybe even 6-year contract to keep him in Calgary. And, you know, he's going to be 28 when he's a free agent. So the Flames, they have an interesting decision on their hands because he's an inconsistent player, but like when he's on his game, like we've seen for the last couple nights here, he's really good. He's really talented. And maybe if he's given the right line mates and he's comfortable in a situation, maybe he can continue to play like this. And if he does, then, you know, he's somebody that you might want to lock in as your second or third line center for the next 4 or 5 years. But if you don't think he can be this player that he's been the last couple games, and he's just that guy that kind of he fits in. He's not the most intense player. He's not like the biggest battler, and doesn't put up a ton of points. Then you might want to look to trade him. So I just think it's a really interesting conversation. I don't like, where are you at with Frost? Do you think that he's a long-term member of this team, or do you need some more time to see what he's got? Because they do have time.
Well, yeah, I do think he needs to show that he can do this on a more consistent basis. I don't know if the Flames want to risk waiting too long on a guy who would walk to make that call. We've just seen it work out too poorly, too many times for too many teams. I think you would hope to see some players developed through the team system come up and be ready to take on that position by the time Frost's contract would be coming up. But if it's someone they want to keep around, like, you're going to need veterans around.
Totally. And he seems like a great dude.
He's the other guys back, right? Yeah. And it does. I mean, I think we've seen, from the Canucks that having a strong room will take you further than a team with maybe more elite talent where everyone hates each other.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened in Vancouver. And one of the interesting things too is, like I said, he is a UFA in 2027. You do need to have some vets around. Like I think that's a great point by you.
That's why I didn't want Coleman to go.
Yeah, which is totally fair, because I mean he's that important to this group. And there's going to be a lot of veterans that are on expiring contracts here. Like, so the 2027 UFA classes, Ryan Strome, Blake Coleman, Morgan Frost, Joel Hanley, and Braden Pahal. I got to assume at least 3 of those guys are probably going to get traded. And, if you take all those guys off your roster, then you got to replace a couple of them in terms of like having that veteran presence in the room. And then in 2028, it's Joel Farabee, Michael Backlund, Zach Whitecloud, Oli Mata, and Devin Cooley. All of them are UFAs too. So, over these next couple of years here, the Flames have some really big decisions to make on who they want to keep in that locker room, who they want to build their team around, and who they want to trade. Because I think they're in like a great position right now where they can keep a couple of these guys and have that veteran presence in the room, but at the same time, they can also trade them and absolutely load up on draft picks in 2027, 28, 29, maybe even 2030. Because there are so many pending UFAs and guys with value, like Zach Whitecloud. I wonder if he could fetch you a first one day. Joel Farabee, with the cap going up, I wonder if he could fetch a second or a first. And Blake Coleman might be able to fetch a first next year. And then you got some of those depth guys. Actually, the most interesting one on the list might be Devin Cooley. If Cooley keeps this up for the next 2 years, he might be incredibly valuable on the trade market. Or, if he ends up surpassing Dustin Wolf over the next 2 years, he's a guy you could look to keep too. And it's just, they're in a really good position here over the next couple of years with some of these contracts and all that.
Yeah, sure would be nice to have some high picks with the 27 draft as well. I mean, if you're talking about bringing all the Calgary kids home.
Well, bring Landon home.
I don't know that he grew up a Flames fan, but
he
was
there in the city.
Play his first game in the Saddledome a few weeks ago.
He is incredible. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen a defenseman like him at that age before. It's remarkable watching him.
Yeah. Oh no, they're doing such great stuff. I mean, his playoffs also start next Friday. I mean, actually, this is the first time since the Dub went to a 68 game schedule that 3 teams have finished with 50 wins. And Everett was, I mean, Landon was a huge part of it, but back-to-back regular season champions and one of the favorites on paper.
Yeah,
for sure. That team has never missed the playoffs since joining the league, but
Everett has never missed the playoffs.
Never missed the playoffs.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they made it to the finals in their first season.
That's unbelievable. They got a great setup out there. Their arena's sick. They have a great fan base. Like it's a great organization.
Their fans are wild. It's actually like one of the rinks I want to go visit the most. But
I went there when they were in the final in like 2000.
So that's what everyone wants to see, if like Landon and Carter Bear and Julius Miettinen and all these players can do.
Yeah. I went to that rink. It was when they were in the final playing. Who do they play? Was it Moose Jaw or Swift Current? I think it was Swift Current.
2018.
2018. Yeah. Yeah. Me and a buddy went down there and it was awesome. Like the place was buzzing. The fans were totally into it. Yeah. It was great. You got to check it out one of these days.
Up against Forever Aflame Glenn Godden.
Yes. Yeah. Good memory. Very well done.
That was well. I remember going to Memorial Cup that year because I moved back from the Maritimes, and I was the only person who could say Acadie Bathurst Titan. Noah Dobson was there. That was actually great Memorial Cup.
I wouldn't be able to say that, so that's impressive.
There's some scary ones out there. Some of the French names, you never know if do you anglicize it and sound like a hillbilly, or do you try to say it the right way and fail?
Who are the other teams that got 50 wins this year in the dub?
Prince Albert, where Jackson Rudolph is, and Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat has a better record this year than they did last year.
That's crazy. Without Gavin McKenna.
Yeah. Without without Hunter St. Martin, without Harrison Menigan. But the Woos, actually, Marcus Ruck and Liam Ruck finished up 1 and 2 in WHL scoring. Bryce Pickford did not get 50 goals as a defenseman, but he missed a month. He would have got there. He finished with 45. That's Jonas Wu, Jet Wu's brother, set a new franchise record for points by a defenseman. Like, they're rolling.
Andrew Bash has been great since returning. He's lighting it up.
He had 2 goals in the last game of the season.
So,
and
okay.
Did I tell you this? I was talking to Willie and asked him about it, like how Andrew's been since coming back. He's like, obviously you want to stay in pros. But he said that Andrew is playing like the Andrew he was a year and a half ago. And like they just he's got that bite back in his game, which they hadn't seen for a while, and was really taking on a leadership role and handling it all very positively being back there, which is good news.
Yeah, he's been hurt the last couple of seasons, hasn't he? Like he really hasn't been able to put together like a prolonged string of healthy games.
Oh, last season, yeah. He went down in I think it was December, and he came back for the championship. Mm-hmm. Scored in the first game back. It was unbelievable. I thought the roof was going to blow off of Co-op Place.
I find the Ruck Twins fascinating. Now, I think you said in like our group chat that you went down to Medicine Hat. Did that happen?
Yeah, I went down there to talk to not the Ruck specifically that day, but with Bryce Pickford, and caught up with Maddox Schultz. Don't know if you've heard that name.
Oh yeah, I watched him at the Circle K this year. He was awesome.
Hey. Yeah, Liam Pugh wasn't on that trip, but we got to talk to Maddox a little bit because he actually set a franchise record for youngest player to get a hat trick this year, 16 years old, and second youngest player in modern dub history to get a hat trick, 2 weeks older than Gavin McKenna.
That's crazy. Yeah, he was spectacular at the Circle K. Like he was by far and away the best player. It was unbelievable. When it comes to the Ruck Twins, so like the Flames, they have the Vegas first round pick. They have all these second round picks. Do you think there's a realistic possibility that they could get both of these guys? And do you think it needs to be a package deal with them, almost like the Sedins, or do you think they can succeed away from each other?
Well, that's the big question, right? Can they play that way away from each other? And they have. Actually, you look at last year, their rookie season, Liam didn't play with Marcus. Marcus actually didn't play through all of the Memorial Cup games. He wasn't playing for all of the championship games because Marcus played left wing last year. They had a pretty good left winger named Gavin McKenna who was going to be taking up that spot. And Liam showed that he could score 25 goals and lead all the rookies in goals without his brother. So they definitely prefer to play together. They want to play together. It's funny, like I've never gotten an ounce of jealousy or one wanting the spotlight more than the other. They just talk about how much they want to play together and that they are best friends.
Yeah. It would be so cool if the Flames could lock those guys down. And like I said, they have the picks to do it, right? They could use some of those seconds to trade up to, late in the first to take them back to back potentially with the Vegas pick and then whatever other pick they get.
Yeah. Are they really like second round to early third? I know. Oh gosh, sorry, I don't have the CSS rankings off the top of my head. I think Liam is 26th and Marcus is 31st.
Okay.
So I think once you get one, either the other one becomes less attractive in a way for other teams to take, or more attractive as a bargaining chip to try to get another team to trade up to get them. Yeah. But when you go back to even the WHL draft, the Tigers took Liam and then they traded up to make sure they could get Marcus because they knew they wanted to play as a package deal.
And like I think that makes sense. Like I was listening to Jason Bukala, he's big into scouting, and he was saying that he thinks that Liam will probably go somewhere, around 20 to 25 in the first round, and then his brother might go a little bit after that. But I think it'd honestly be worth it to maybe trade one of those second round picks in Vegas's first to move up, just to take both brothers, even if you would be maybe stretching a little bit to take the other brother. But I just think the whole situation's fascinating. I'd love to see the Flames.
Well, Marcus also has center experience, which is nice. I think at the All-Star game, I think he was, a little over 50%. I think he was like 10 for 18 at the face-off dot, but a lot of upside there. They played with Basha. It could be very fun to see.
Oh yeah. Do they have a little bit of that like kind of Sedinery sort of magic to their game?
Completely. They do so many things where it's like, how did you know he was going to be there? And like when you talk to Willie about it, who coached the Sedines for a long time, obviously, he will always tell you that like it is not fair to compare these 18-year-olds to the greatest Swedish players of all time.
Yeah, Hall of Famers. Yeah.
Yeah, but he said, but at the same time, there were little things that we would do in practice with the Sedines that I've done in practice with these guys, just to see how long it takes them to catch on. And some of those hallmarks are definitely there. I think you see Marcus is obviously more of the setup guy, finished with 108 points, led the CHL in points and assists, unless something happened in the last 2 games of the season going this afternoon. And Liam is chasing 50 goals. So those two know how to find each other.
Mm-hmm. And that is like a Daniel and Henrik situation where Henrik's the playmaker, Daniel's the shooter. Like, I think it's super cool. I think it's super exciting. I really hope that they can end up on the same team together.
Yeah, there's some fun. Like, I know there's been a lot of hype around the forwards in the draft this year, or around the defensemen, but like there are some great forwards out there. Like, so excited to see what JP Hurlburt can do. Mathis Preston has been injured for a chunk of the season, but that guy's electric when he's going.
Could you imagine if the Flames somehow end up with, say they win the lottery, they get Gavin McKenna, they get Stenberg, and they get the Rucks? Like, could you imagine how much fun that would be? How exciting like a prospect camp would be and all that? Oh, that'd be incredible.
Then the Tigers would have to be considered the official pipeline of the Calgary Flames, because where did Lanny play?
Med Hat.
There you go.
There we go.
I think those are the last known pictures of him without a mustache when he was with the Tigers.
It would be weird to see Lanny without a mustache. It would be bizarre. I don't know if I'd recognize him. I don't know if you'd be able to tell who it is.
It'd be like kids at kindergarten when their dads come to pick them up and they shave their mustache and they just cry.
Who are you, stranger danger?
Yeah, right? Oh, goodness. Let's take a look at the road ahead, shall we? Just a couple left on this homestand. Back at it on Tuesday against the LA Kings at 7. Kings are a point out of the second wild card and fighting for their playoff lives. They were taking on Mackenzie Weegar and the Utah Mammoths tonight. How'd that one turn out?
I don't know, but I can check right now.
That would be so cool.
They are tied 3 in overtime.
Whew. All right. Well, LA will have a lot to play for when they roll in here this week. Thursday, the Ducks, the Pacific Division leading Ducks. They need to start playing the Jaws music before Radko Gudas comes on the ice.
The Ducks
to return on Tuesday against the Canucks.
The Ducks, they're so much fun to watch. Like if I'm like kind of channel surfing, flipping through games, I always find myself end up watching the Ducks. Just so many good young players. They play so fast. They play like such an entertaining style of hockey. Like if the Flames can be like them in 3 or 4 years, that would be unbelievable.
Oh yeah, and you need some kids for that, for sure. But yeah. I think we can get there. Saturday the 28th, the floundering Vancouver Canucks, who are now rocking a pristine 40 regulation losses on the season.
They can be the first team officially eliminated in the playoff picture with a loss tomorrow, I believe. That's gonna be quite the toilet bowl, that one.
Oh boy.
Actually, it might be the one time where like I'm like outwardly
Who do you think is scarier, Radko Gudas or Rafi Torres?
Oh, Rafi Torres for sure. That guy was a killer back in the day. Oh my God. Some of those hits that he had with Vancouver were insane. He was like one of those dangerous players in the NHL. That guy was nuts.
That guy was on one.
Oh, was he ever?
There's just nothing behind the eyes, but
like the one hit he had on Seabrook. Oh my God.
Earlier, I was trying to remember how long that suspension was, and for the life of me, I couldn't. I feel like it was 20 games.
I think you're right. I think it got up to 20 or 21.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, he had quite the rap sheet going there at the time.
Well, thankfully, the Flames will not have to play him this weekend. Monday, primetime versus Colorado and Cale Makar, first team to qualify for the 2026 NHL playoffs. And we wrap up the road ahead looking at next Thursday. That's April the 2nd on the road in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, the Flames, it's so weird when they play Vegas at home. They play them hard and they play them like pretty well. They win the majority of their games. And then when they play in Vegas, it's just an absolute nightmare. They seem to get crushed in that building every time they play there.
Yeah, not a good scene. Not a good scene.
No.
Oh, we have some Rafi Torres lore in the chat. Yuri, Rafi Torres golfed at a golf course I used to work at. Really nice dude, actually. But I mean, who isn't pleasant at the golf course? An excellent point, but Nick Tarnasky is the person who is not pleasant at the golf course.
I've
that was
heard
the guy
he is
here who threw Buddy into the
into the water. That was unbelievable.
Yeah. Too good. Well, that's our look at the road ahead for tonight, brought to you by Prairie Toyota Dealers. If you're looking to dominate off the ice as much as your team does on it, check out the Toyota Tacoma. Its standard I-Force engine boasts an impressive towing capacity of up to 6,400 pounds. I think Mike and I did the math on this once. That is a lot of Adam Klepkas. It's actually the most powerful Tacoma ever. So whether you're hauling gear to the rink or heading to an away game, tackle it with ease. They've got the panoramic multi-terrain view monitor to give you a live underfloor view to navigate even the toughest terrain easily. And when you got to load up, the available power lift gate makes loading your gear in and out a cinch. So experience power, capability, and convenience with the Toyota Tacoma. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Prairie Toyota dealer during Red Tag Days from March through May.
What do you think's more powerful, the Toyota Tacoma or Rafi Torres hitting Brent Seabrook? I'm watching it right now, and it's one of the hardest hits I've ever seen.
I'm going to look it up, too.
And that was the 2011 run, too. Like, that was the year the Canucks went to the Cup final. Oh, yeah, that. And remember the Aaron Rome hit on Nathan Horton? That was a massive one. That kind of changed the momentum of that series.
Yeah, sure did. Okay, I'm sorry, but also the head injuries are awful. I feel so bad that this is how it happened. That man needed to keep his head up.
Oh, yeah.
They also broke Mason Raymond's back in that series.
That's true. That is true.
I don't even think it was a penalty when they did it either. Oh,
also,
God.
The suspension that we were talking about for Torres was actually 41 games. Half a season. It was for a hit on Silverberg where he basically jumped and elbowed him in the head. Like it's an awful hit. But yeah, 41 game suspension.
Wow.
That's what AJ Greer should have got.
Yeah, AJ Greer is now the Rafi Torres of this generation.
That's an insult to Rafi Torres. The way that guy used to hit. Even he had one on Hossa too back in the day.
Robert, I love it.
Oh.
Well, I need to stop watching that, or I'm
me too. I'm getting too distracted.
What do you have going for us on Bet365 tonight?
Yeah, we'll take a look at the only game in the NHL tomorrow night. We'll pull it up here. We got the Ottawa Senators in New York, Madison Square Garden, taking on the New York Rangers, and this is a critical game for the Ottawa Senators to win. This is a must-win. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They have to get the job done here, and I think they will. The New York Rangers are an absolute tire fire. JT Miller's back in the lineup, and whenever he's in the lineup, they seem to lose a lot. So, yeah, take a look at the Ottawa Senators, maybe on the spread. Spread is plus 125. If the Sens win by 2 or more goals, you get paid out. You put 100 down, you win 125. And then the money line, they're a minus 190, so pretty heavy favorites, and I think they should be. So take a look at that tomorrow night. It's like I said, it's the only game on the calendar, so might be fun to throw a little bit of coin down on it.
Yeah, I mean, Jets taking that shootout win against the Rangers tonight spoils Dylan Garand's NHL debut. Bummer for the young guy, but definitely a lot to keep an eye on with that one. Of course, it's brought to you by Bet365. So if you're tired of waiting for the end of the game to get paid, get ready to move on to the next puck drop. That's why Bet365, an official partner of the NHL, has 3-goal early payout. If the team you're riding goes up 3 goals at any point in the game, they will pay your bet out early. Hockey moves fast, we all know that. And now with the 3-goal early payout, there's one less thing you have to wait around for. So with Bet365, download the app and see what early payout's all about. You got to be 19 or older, and you got to play responsibly.
All right. What a night.
Big night.
Graphic Torres hits, WHL, Ruck Twins, Flames win 4-3. Devin Cooley, Matt May Gridin talk. Doesn't get any better than this, does it?
I don't think we talked about Matt May Gridin enough, honestly.
Every time I get a chance to get behind a mic, whether it's here or my own pod, I'm just raving about him. I think he's so good. I think he's gonna be like a first line winger.
Talk about.
Do you like how many like what kind of production do you see in Gridin's future? Do you like is he a point per game guy? Is he a little less than that? What do you think?
See, this is why I'm the worst at these shows, because I do not pretend to know how someone is going to project out.
Just make a guess. Just
throw something at the wall. Matthew Phillips would be the guy.
Oh, I was right there with you.
Believe in something.
Mike Golden and I were talking the other day.
Okay, I'll say Gridin will be a 30-goal scorer.
I like it. That's good. I totally agree with you.
I feel like that's a little bit of a low ball, but
30 goals is pretty good. I think you'd be pretty happy with that if you're the Flames for a 28th overall pick. That wouldn't be too bad at all.
Would be satisfied. Yeah. Honestly, let's just like dig through the stats a little bit more again here. Like Flames were dominating at the face-off dot. Hits, they were out hitting them. 23 hits. They've been playing some really good physical hockey. This is the stat I love. 16 blocked shots. The Chris Russell special. And the giveaways were a little high, but that's okay.
The thing I find most impressive about that is, like, when it comes to Ryan Huska's coaching, you can tell like this team, they're bought in 100%. Even though this season it's over, it's done. Like there's really nothing to play for anymore for these guys. You're still seeing them, like you said, 16 block shots tonight. You know, I mentioned the one late in the third period. It was Joel Farabee blocking a Darren Radish one-timer. Like these guys are committed. They're dedicated. I'm just getting choked up thinking about it. It's super, super impressive. Like part of me wants to see like what kind of coach Ryan Huska could be if he actually had like a really good, talented team. Because if they could buy in the way they have since he's been the head coach, but add significantly more talented players and have a more talented roster than he's had since being the coach here, I wonder what that would look like.
Yeah, and honestly, when you're still getting some wins like this, like, you know, you're out of the race. You're playing for pride. You're playing to bring younger guys along. And sometimes when you truly are the underdog every night, it does things to help a team bond. Like, I know there were one thing that the Flames honestly kind of seemed to struggle with when they were still expected to be contenders and when they were playing well, I'm talking just within the last couple of years here, it's hard to manufacture an us against the world mentality when things are going well and everybody's cheering you on. Right. So I think hard times like this will do a lot to help them bond. It's a lot easier to play as an underdog.
Oh, 100%. And I think we saw that last year too. Like last year was one of those years where they could play that underdog card and they played it really well. I mean, they should have made the playoffs last year, especially like, they get 96 points last year and you see how bad the Pacific is this year. And you're like, why couldn't the Flames have the year they had last year this year potentially, you know? And maybe they kind of dropped out and was picking the top 3 last year and had a good year this year or something like that. You know, that would have been fun, but
they need to sign some of those kids who are doing the minor hockey shootout thing at the Saddle Dome this year.
Oh, some of them are so good.
There have been some really sick shots.
Totally.
I mean, why is a 10-year-old lifting the puck higher than the NHLers?
I saw one. I was at one game and one kid went bar down. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god! And then he's probably 10 years old, 11 years old. I'm like, that's incredible.
How tall is your dad?
Could have a little Tyson Gross situation on our hands potentially. You never know.
Could be, could be. You know, that's what every parent thinks when they take a picture of their kids in an NHL jersey now when they're 5.
I got to do that. I got to do the shootout when I was like 10 or 11 years old. It was unbelievably exciting. It was so cool.
Well, how did you do?
Our team went to the finals. I think I was the weak link on the team. Unfortunately, I was more of the shutdown, stay-at-home D-man, so I didn't really have the hands. But the one thing I always remember was how choppy the ice was, and like you could barely skate out there. And I was like, how do these NHLers like make these incredible plays at the end of a period when the ice is as chopped up and messed up as it is? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like I actually had a hard time skating on that ice.
Oh, it's rough. Like I used to figure skate growing up, and whenever we had like little showcases, it was usually at intermission of the junior B hockey games in town. And they would make you go out there before they flooded the ice because they always complained that toe picks were going to chop it up. Mama, no, it was so bad. You were fighting for your life on every single trick.
The other part about that shootout is, so we went to the final, and so we lost in the finals, and the winning team got autographed jerseys by the entire team, and then we got pennants, like autographed, like little like pennant banner type of things, and mine was autographed by Rhett Warner. And now I'm working with the guy. What a small world. What a crazy world I'm living right now. Isn't it crazy? Yeah, I told him. Yeah.
That's precious.
Yeah, it was great.
Now
yeah,
you need to get like a really awful pair of slippers and get him to sign those.
Those slippers are a mess. You should see those things in person. My God.
I usually prefer to do this from the studio, and every time I see those things, it's
throw them away, Red. What are we doing here? Barely hanging on.
I know, that's the old yeller. That's what's got to get put down behind the ball. Yeah. Someone have a heart and throw those shoes in the trash.
Next time you're in the studio, just do it. Just take them out. Force them to get some new ones.
I'll do what no one else has the guts to do. Anyway, last call here for questions, comments, and super chats before we wrap it up. First, just want to say Truck Month is on right now at GMC, and if you've been waiting for the perfect time to upgrade your ride, now is the time. The 2026 Sierra 1500 Pro Graphite Crew Cab, almost made it, is built to stand out, now available at 0% financing for 72 months. It's got a 2-inch factory lift with off-road suspension and a 5.3-liter V8 engine that delivers the kind of power you actually feel when you hit the gas. And during Truck Month, you can get into your very own, so head down to the dealership, take it for a spin, and see what the Sierra 1500 Pro Graphite Crew Cab can really do. Oh gosh, this is what we're left with. Crosby's jockstrap Rhett slippers. You can't mess with success.
That's a pretty good comparison.
What's your longest running piece of gear?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's probably my helmet. I've had the same helmet now for, 14 years, and it's like it's hanging on for dear life right now. Some like the screws aren't in there anymore. Like I don't even have like a chin strap. Like, yeah, it's a disaster. I got to get a new one here because I like to go to stick and puck every now and then, skate and shoot. But yeah, it's definitely the helmet. What about you?
Oh, pretty much everything that came from Played Against Sports. Probably my 40-year-old tax, but.
Oh, you got tax.
Hell yeah.
You got some swagger out there. I like
it. They were like $20 from a used sports store in my hometown, where I also got a retro Flames, not jersey sweater, but sweater. That is so ugly. The wonderful lady working there looked at the sweater and said, it was listed for $2. And she said, I can't accept money for this. Just take it.
Are we talking, it's like an ugly Christmas sweater type of situation? Or
what are we talking about? No, it's not intentionally ugly. It's just that the years have not been kind to it. It's got bat wings. It's got a weird collar and a mustard stain. Philadelphia Collins clearly owned it at some point in time.
Little mustard tiger going on there.
Sir. I'll pull it out for you sometime. Well, it looks like that's it. That's all. I mean, Flames pull out a huge win, 4-3 in overtime against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The guys will break down Tyson Gross's NHL debut, the AJ Greer suspension. We'll be getting into all of it on Barn Burner this week. So thanks for hanging out, friends.